Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. Coming up, we got special guest, 9/11 survivor, Steve Rannazzisi. Obviously, one of the most exciting things you can ever do in life is lie about a major disaster being part of it. So we don't really get into that, but you might know him from the league and all his other now insignificant achievements. Very funny man. He's an absolute legend. LA comedian, just moved to New York because LA is gay. But before we get into the podcast, if you want to support this show, head over to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. You get an extra episode every week. It starts as little as $5. It's only $1 something a week, man. And if you can't afford it, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your life. But head over there, help support the show at patreon.com. It's really worth it. We also have merch online right now at columtyrrell.com. I've got dates coming up all over the country. Come catch me live doing stand-up comedy, probably talking about sex. I've got dates coming up in Austin, Texas at the Creek and the Cave in February 24th and 25th. I'm running my own variety show called Midnight Circus in New York City. It's on March 10th. That's as the second the clock strikes midnight, your wife will turn back into a pumpkin. Midnight Circus, all right? Big J Oakerson's on the show. Louis J. Gomez is on the show. Tim Budley is on the show. We've got all sorts of weird freaks and geeks. I'm going to be out of my head on shrooms. That show's nearly sold out. That's my pride and joy. Midnight Circus. This is the first of hopefully many. Get tickets to that. Come have fun. New York City. Also, St. Patrick's Day weekend. I'm going to be in California, in San Diego on March 16th. I'm going to be at Mic Drop Comedy Club. Then in Los Angeles, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, Colum Tyrrell and friends at the Comedy Store. We got Sam Tripoli, we got Rick Glassman, we got Kim Cogden, we got Shane Todd all the way from Belfast. We got Josh Potter, and we've also got some other people that I cannot remember right now, plus some very big special guests. Hopefully, one of them you may know has getting his big fat tits out all the time. I don't know if that's true, though. I don't know if that's true, so do not quote me on that. But hopefully. And then I've also got weekends coming up. They're not on sale yet, but I'll let you know. Coming up at Dallas, Chicago, Cincinnati. I'm constantly adding more weekends all over the country this year. I'll also be in Vegas. So go to columtyrrell.com for those tickets. Come see me live. See what all the fuss is about, boys. See why Jimmy Fallon said I was the greatest person he's ever seen in the history of comedy. He said that to me. And I swear to God, he means that. So that's it. Steve Rannazzisi, fucking what a man. What a real cool. I'm actually kind of jealous of how fucking cool he is, because I thought he was going to be just like an LA fucking twink. Just like, hey man, heard a lot about you, dude. And you go, fuck you, LA. But no, he's a real ass dude. That's a good expression. TM. All right, so on with the show, folks. Here, enjoy. Steve Rannazzisi. Thank you. Steve Rannazzisi, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
what
man.
a guest.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Thanks for coming, brother.
Thanks for having me. I can't believe that anyone asked me to be on their podcast. Not many people asked me, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I'm being serious.
What is that? Straight white male?
Well, yeah.
There you go.
We're not cool.
No. Well, I had a freak on last week, you know?
So it balances out.
Yeah, just a white woman.
Yeah.
I'm
words.
A real
freak. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like... I don't know.
What's your?
I moved from LA, so I don't think the New York people either like me or know me. So.
Are you from New York originally?
Yeah, I grew up along Long Island.
And then you moved to LA. When was that?
2001.
2001. And then now you're back.
Now I moved back like a year and a half
ago. Back on the
ago.
island, are you?
Back to
I never see you around really too much.
So my New Year's resolution is to be around more.
Oh yeah. So because you're just on the road a lot, right?
Yeah, you're on the road on the weekends. You know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, get home Sunday. I coach I got kids, so I'm helping out this and that. Monday, Tuesday, like Wednesday, you want to fuck your wife and stay home.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know, and then before you go on the road.
Of course. Yeah.
So that's it. Just it becomes an end. A cycle of that.
Of course, and then you probably go to the clubs. And
but then next
everyone's young and homeless and
no one knows who you are.
They're drunk. Yeah, but it must be annoying. You know, you go talk to some 28-year-old, and then he's like, "Did you know this about comedy?" And you're like, "I don't care. Comedy's dead. I don't."
Yeah, I do that on the green rooms on the road.
What?
A lot of like
tell them to shut the fuck up.
No, I don't tell them to shut up, but they love, like, they want it. They tell me about the old days versus what it is now.
Oh, okay.
And they never really want to hear about the old days. No.
All right, sorry. At least she just says old days. Okay.
But it's not like tell me like stories about like it's always like, how is it then versus now? Like, it's always like, and they always almost like an argument, and they want to argue. They want to get into an argument on how it's changed and how it's better. And how it's like, internet's changed everything. Type of bullshit. Yeah, and almost like there's no more gatekeepers. There shouldn't be any more gatekeepers, and that's a good thing. And I'm like, well, now there's a lot of trash.
The gatekeepers are needed to a degree.
Yeah, we had a couple great gatekeepers at the Comedy Store, and
Mitzi.
Well, she was a good gatekeeper for a while, and then became a terrible gatekeeper.
Yeah, wow.
Because she let like her hairdresser in. Like, I'm not kidding, dude. I was selling tickets.
Can you turn these cans down a little bit? I'm getting burnt out here, bro.
I would be selling tickets to shows that were in alphabetical order, dude. Because the list of like, okay, so like the list of comedians was alphabetical order.
Yeah.
You called in, you left your dates for what you wanted to do, and then every day Duncan Trussell, who was the talent coordinator at the time, would call her up and be like, all right, Mitzi, we're going to do the live tomorrow. And
Duncan Trussell, like the wacky comedian, does acid and stuff?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah. So he used to be the talent coordinator there, and he would literally read her names, Ahmed, Argus Hamilton, and she would go, 9 o'clock, yeah. And then and it was, so the lineups were in alphabetical order.
No other rhyme, no reason, just the way it came.
For a year,
wow.
They were in alphabetical order.
And do you reckon people rebranded as like AA? Do you ever think? Do you ever come up and my name is now Stephen Rannazzisi?
I thought it was a thing. Well, I was trying to change my name, dude. It's like, she could
have been Aaron Rannazzisi.
I wish, dude. Aaron Cater, Ahmed. They were like a couple guys, and it was like Argus Hamilton. So like they were like and then Lemaire, like you had like her hairdresser. I was like, who's this? And that's like, oh, she does her hair, but she thinks she's funny. So, and I'm like, I'm never gonna get out of this fucking box. I'm gonna be living in this box forever. It sucked.
Yeah, these are the rough days of the store, right?
Yeah.
So this is so what really happened. Rogan came along, talked about how great it was.
So Rogan was hanging out then.
Yeah.
No, Rogan was hanging out. Like when I first got there, he was there.
Yeah.
And then like the whole Mencia thing happened.
Yeah.
Then he bounces. And not like when he was there the first time, it wasn't like we weren't like killing it all the time. The weekends were hot. Fridays were hot. Saturdays were hot. But like during the week, it was like no one.
Yeah.
And you needed 3 people to start the show. And I would be selling tickets and like we would get a couple. You never had 3 people come together.
You were like on the street selling tickets?
No, so I was in a cover booth. I'd sit there in the booth, the door guy's on the street. And then we'd be waiting for the show would be at 9 o'clock. We'd be waiting for people to come, 8:30. A couple would come in. They'd sit down. But we didn't have 3 fucking people. Yeah. Then Argus is calling because he's second on the list, And he's like, are we starting the show? And I'm like, we don't have enough people. Call me when we can start the show. Then, I'd be waiting for one more person. Then the couple would leave. Another person would come in. And it's like, you never had enough till like 10 o'clock sometimes.
Brutal.
And it was rough. It was like that all the fucking time in the 2000s.
Some of the funniest ones of that version was what Louis said about when they did the Cellar for a long time when no one was going to shows in... Might have been late 80s, early 90s. There's like the comedy boom at that time had burst, and at the Cellar, I don't know who used to own it back then, but his idea was there should be someone on stage performing at all times. So because if someone walks in off the street and they want to watch the show, so you
would have to perform to no one. So that's a different. Like Mitzi was like, I think her thought was like, I don't have to pay anyone until. But meanwhile, we're all like sitting there, like.
I can't imagine doing my act to no one though. Like to no one.
Well,
like that's
would you
crazy.
rather do it to no audience members or no audience members and just like 8 comedians in the back? Because when we did open mic at the Comedy Store, there was no audience members, but there were the other 18 people on the 20-person list sitting in the back. So you would have to go on for those people because they just started the show anyway. That was a different thing because they were just they knew that people would eventually show up as the night went on. Plus, it was a free night anyway. Open mic was open mic. Then it was employees. She didn't pay those people to do stand up. And then it was pop-in night. So paid regulars could come in and just work stuff out, but nobody was getting paid.
Yeah.
So that's how. Yeah, I mean, that's how we stayed afloat for a long time. And nobody was there. No one.
So then
Rogan bounces, and then it becomes destitute.
Yeah, and then Rogan explodes with the podcast, right?
Yes. Well,
roughly.
Yeah, MMA. It was more. It was more MMA. It was more like the UFC stuff.
So, yeah.
And then like podcasts getting bigger and bigger and bigger, getting more guests, and then it was like, you know, one of the guys that used to work there, this guy Tommy, who used to run the place, who was sort of like the gatekeeper after Mitzi.
Yeah.
Or he kind of took her place without asking anyone and just took over.
Yeah, that was the guy everyone hated, right?
Everyone hated him, yeah. So Tommy kind of ran the place for a while, and once he left,
became good again.
That's when Rogan came back.
And it became this big explosive.
And then it just was humongous.
Tuesday nights.
I mean, now it's truly still like I can't wrap my fucking head around going there on a Tuesday night and having the main room sold out for whoever. I'm not even talking like Rogan or Tim Dillon's not even on the show. No one, dude. I'm talking like normal
People just have it in
funny people like Fahim and guys, you know, super fucking funny people.
Yeah.
But still, it's like they're just I don't know where these comedy fans are coming from. Like I truly like, how is LA, which was always the shittiest city for comedy, pretty much, out of the major ones, is now like a place that like they can't get enough of it. They really can't. I don't know how.
I guess when Rogan would talk about, there was always like Tuesday night at the store, you know, Diaz, Bert, Segura, just the biggest names for a while. There was like every Tuesday night they go down and work stuff out. People love this idea of like not seeing someone in it. It's the same with the Cellar.
It is cool as fuck, dude. You know how it is? It's like you don't know who's going to come. You don't know who's going to pop in. And that's always happening. Yeah. So I guess they feel like, you know, we're playing on FOMO. It's like the fear of missing out on who's not going to be there that night.
The only thing is, I think it's nice to have a drop in, but then when they bring in someone from like a movie and they do an hour and 45 minutes, you go, this sucks. This is not great. It's like good to see a celebrity drop in.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the other problem in the 2000s was where it was Bump Fest. It was like we had two guys that would bump every night.
Fucking Fonzie knows Bump Fest for sure. Fucking every Friday night.
I don't know how it is here now.
A little key bump joke.
Oh, nice job, dude. You're a cokehead? Fuck yeah, bro.
He's from Philly. Look at him. He's a fucking Italian with his cap on backwards. You know he's fucking doing
I like your vibe.
Dirty bumps, dude. Dirty bumps with Fonzie.
That should be in Arizona for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, dude. You want some bumps? You want some bumps for the birds? Bumps for the birds?
Bumps for the birds.
Come on, dude.
That's our Patreon goal.
Let's do some bumps for the birds.
You could honestly peer pressure me into doing key bumps of coke by just going, bumps for the birds. Bumps for the birds. Like
all right. How can I resist?
E-A-G-L-E-S.
I don't even know how to spell Eagles, dude. I fuck it up every time. I'm a Giants fan.
C-O-C-A.
I pride myself that I don't know how to fucking do it.
Yo, fuck those Philly scumbags, dude.
Oh, my God. No, bump. Everyone's bumping back then. Dice would come on and go on for an hour and a half. No joke.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Griffin would go on for like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And I'm talking like at 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night. So you're like, nobody developed.
Yeah.
Like there was a stunt growth period there where just like 3 people did whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And everybody else just sat. Like, you know, that's why like Sebastian like was still waiting fucking tables.
Oh yeah,
dude, he would wait tables at the Beverly Hills Hotel, drive up on his shift, like take a break, come do 15 minutes, but call you ahead of time to make sure he wasn't gonna get bumped because he's like, I got like 3 tables right now that someone's covering, and I can't go up there and wait for fucking Dice to tell a 3-hour story.
Of course,
so
yeah,
it was like that,
But now you have all those guys like Sebastian probably never do that, right? He would never because he knows what it's like to be bumping people. So, but like he's probably not gonna do an hour. You know what's funny? He does 2 hours.
Yeah, he never.
That'd be so funny. Sebastian comes in.
Total disrespect.
Oh, I'm not. You think you've heard details before?
Yeah,
I am talking
branded on respect, except when it comes to this. Fungul, go fuck yourself. I've got 4 hours on my wife.
Oh, he goes,
dude.
She's combing her hair.
But I
one
love
stroke.
Yeah,
2 strokes.
Who wants to work this hard? Who he used to go like, you're not getting paid. He'd be like, 3 hours for what?
Yeah,
who's here?
What do you think it is? Is it because I was in LA recently. We did some shows for New Year's and stuff like that, and then one of the nights there was like a lot of celebrities were on, but they all went long. Like Bert,
it's an ego trip, dude.
Bert did a lot of time. I think Bert was fucked up. We were getting high and drinking, so I think he was just having a good time.
There's different versions, dude. There are dudes in the like the 2000s, like there were a period of like who could literally there was like almost like, oh my God, Dane stayed on stage last night for 4.5 hours at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And it's like, in what world was anyone interested in that, including Dane?
I know.
You know,
he's just
like,
forced himself.
And I think it was just like, people were like, they need
that's
me,
what
dude.
I think.
They need, and they can't get enough. It was almost like jam sessions. You know, like when rockers get together and we just play and hang out. It's like, we're just jam. It's like, this is not that.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Nobody really wants to, like, only comics want to fuck with each other off stage and hang out and do that. Like on stage in front of a group of people that you feel like you're holding hostage after a while. Yeah. It feels weird.
I wonder if people get pressured into it too. They go, I'd love to only do 15 minutes tonight, but it's like, I'm famous, so I have to kind of just...
Who says that?
I don't know. I wonder if that's
if you in your mind only wanted to do 15 minutes and I only had it in mind, unless something went awry in
I've seen celebrities bomb like a motherfucker though. So
well, that's a different story. That's your ego then.
Yeah.
Hey man, you could have done 15 minutes, but then you got to dig yourself out of a fucking hole. I've seen that too. I can name some names when I'm not going to.
I think they're good in of course.
But they really I've
name
seen
names or bleep below.
Oh God.
Name names or bleep below. Damn it. No,
the light comes on and now she's going to do 20 minutes of crowd work and bomb. And it's like, now how are we getting this fucking shit back?
Yeah.
But we definitely have to bleep that out because I love her.
Yeah. What an LA way to cover up. You fucking dumb bitch. I love her so much.
No, but I do.
But when Chappelle does it, it's usually last. But if Chappelle comes and does like the Cellar and it's like a crazy long night, I don't know if he does it as much anymore. But it was usually like they would go, just do it at the end, please. Don't like do it at the beginning.
It at the end.
Do it at the end when we can all leave, kind of.
You know who was like the most shocking? Who would come to LA in the 2000s, still come to the store even though there wasn't a fucking human being there, sit outside, look at the lineup, look at the time and go, okay, all right. And then go over to me and be like, is it possible if I can go on around this time? David Tell would come in and go, is it possible?
Sweetheart.
Like, not like, hey, just, like, is it okay? I'll wait till the end. No big deal.
Yeah.
But if it's possible, I got another spot at the Improv. Is it cool? And you're like, yeah, Louis, everybody wants to see that.
Every time I've seen Louis comes in, he goes, I don't want to bump anyone. He's like, if I can go up and it's not done with this, and he only does his 15, he never does longer. And he's working on stuff too. Like, you're very rare you see Louis just like showing up just to murder. Like, he doesn't need to do that. He's working on stuff and he comes in and he does his stuff.
I know.
You'll never see him do 45 minutes.
I've done it at the stand. I followed him at the stand where I'm like, oh, you know, like it's not, they're not coming in for an ego stroke. They're coming in to work. That's the difference. I've seen other people where they're like special guests. One of my favorites now, like I see like at the Comedy Store, you see like special guests on the side and you're like, who is it? And you hear who it is. You're like, what the fuck? That person's a special guest. And then, you know, they're not even like doing anything. They're just in town.
Yeah.
So they're like, I'm going to hang, so I might as well go do something on stage. But it's really not, you know, it is what it is.
Well, Ron, I've got my show, Colum Tyrrell and Friends, at the Belly Room in LA on St. Patrick's Day.
Great room.
March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, the Belly Room. Get tickets. I've got a bunch of people I know on the lineup. Who do I have on? Do you guys remember? Kurt said he might come down.
Kurt Metzger
might be coming down, hopefully.
Nice.
Rick Glassman said he's coming down. I don't know Rick.
Rick's a great dude.
I love his podcast.
His podcast is strange.
Who else have we got? We got Sam Tripoli, friend of the show.
Fantastic.
Enemy of the Jews.
Yep.
Sam Tripoli's on. And
has no strange conspiracy theories at all, Sam. Very straight down the...
He's a rational guy. he plays the middle, you know? He balances it.
I love Sam.
I love Sam too, yeah.
We did Guam together, Sam and I.
Guam?
The
country?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's a territory, I think. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Someone said
I think America owns Guam.
Isn't that like near Nicaragua?
No, it's
I don't
near
think
Japan.
I don't blur that out. I didn't say that word, right?
Yeah, you got to whisper that, dude. You can't.
I didn't say blur that out too.
The two things we have to blur out are very similar.
Notorious for blowing the light.
Guam
is a territory.
Territory,
you're
yeah.
right.
So, because everything, it's all strip clubs and
Micronesia,
and military bases.
Oh, interesting. And so what? So you performed to the troops?
So we did the troops, yeah.
So this is just where they leave.
This is like literally.
This is just in case shit kicks off.
This is where they launched for to drop the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
That's it's because you got to bring your passport if you go in there. Because if you can't land there, the next stop is like Japan. It's like 6.5 hours from Hawaii. So you fly to Hawaii, then you got to fly to Guam.
And then you're just performing for the troops.
We did a week there, performed for troops, Barely made it alive. I mean,
What?
barely made it out alive.
Wait, you getting bombed, or you guys were just not doing well on stage?
No, we did great. Well, we did great on stage, but these military guys love to party, and it's all strip clubs, so that's all there is to go. So you go to these strip clubs, and each guy wants to party with you. So like one strip club, they tie you to the captain's mast, like the girls belt you down, like give him the fucking rough house, and next thing you know, your pants are around your ankles, and you get slapped, and your cock's out, and you're like, what the fuck? And they're throwing Vicodin in your mouth. It's crazy, dude.
Nice.
Crazy. We barely. So we were there during the Malice at the Palace when the when the Detroit. I remember Sam and I we were all fucked up and we were watching it.
Yeah.
And we were like, is this even real? Is this happening right now? Like this is a different world.
Who was that? That was the Pistons and whoever.
Pacers.
Pacers. Yeah.
Back in the day when Detroit had a fucking passion.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. How do I book that? How do I get in there? I want to
Tony So. I remember the guy's name.
I want to do Vatican with Vatican, whatever you call it.
These strip clubs used to have, because they would fly strippers in from Japan like every week, like different ones. We were there so long, we became friends with the strippers, and by Tuesday night, we were friends with them, that we were going to the airport after the club closed to pick up the new stripper and bring her back to the stripper house.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, dude. And this is a time where Sam Tripoli is a master craftsman at talking to strippers.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, he used to run. He grew up in Vegas and ran a comedy / adult show. A lot of chaos involved in his life, which was great. So he knew how to handle that. And I was on Punk'd. I had just done that show Punk'd. Okay, so it was like 20 years ago.
You were a character in that.
So the first time around they did that show, I was on that show.
What celebrities were you with?
I did.
You Punk'd?
Missy Elliott, and Tay Diggs, and Ashanti, and
okay. Wow, these are just
Outkast.
These really? These are just Fonzie's favorite artists. You're naming. Fonzie still listens to.
Oh,
Missy.
really?
Yeah, every day he listens to.
Dude,
Missy.
Ashanti's the shit, bro.
Ashanti,
you fucking love Ashanti.
Ashanti got leaked, didn't she? She had an little sex tape leaked.
Did she? I thought she was dead. No, Aaliyah.
One or the other. I'm always getting those two confused.
Aaliyah and Shanti. Yeah, sorry. And we did Tracy Morgan too. That was the best one.
Really?
Yeah, Tracy was the greatest. And then we went out after and partied, and he took his shirt off and sang karaoke.
I'm sure he did. I'm gonna make you pregnant. What song he said? Come on.
We sang New York, New York, New York. You got a Yankee hat on. I'm naked. Let's go. I love this guy. We took his car. He had just got a brand new fucking Jaguar, and we towed it. The thing was he went to the restaurant. I played the valet. He drops it off at the valet. Next thing you know, they come in and tell him, "Hey, dude, your car is being towed." We put it up on a lift, smash in the front window, and I'm like,
his window?
The tow truck driver, right?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't his car. We smashed it in another window.
Oh.
Tow truck driver. I'm like, "Hey, dude," I'm taking off. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" Yeah. I'm like, "I gotta go to Barstow, dude. This thing's got it." He's like, "Barstow, you're crazy, man. You ain't taking my thing to Barstow." And he's the only way. He has no idea. Friends, no one knows who is getting there's a show Punk'd. Nothing.
Yeah.
And his friends kind of lift up their belt, you can see a weapon. I'm like,
wow.
Whoa. And that's and I'm
he's just howling in the safety of a fucking van.
that was the thing. I would fuck around.
Sends these young actors out to get smashed up by some bodyguards.
We went to a room like this, a very sketchy room, that's got cameras, and we auditioned, right? Well, a guy Ashton's partner, just kind of threw us. It was almost like, "Hey, improv now. You're this, you're that. Go." And you're like, and you're like, "All right, now you're this, you're that." It was a kind of a stressful sort of situation. And then you get a phone call. You're like, you got the job. You're doing it tomorrow. Be outside. We know where you live. It's literally we're picking you up. We're sending a car. We know where you live. That's it. We're sending a car. And you get nothing, no information about who you were punking, what the situation was, anything.
Wow.
And you just waited there. And then I got picked up, drove. I was punking Tracy Morgan. And literally 2 hours later, I'm yelling at him.
They tell you in the car, they just hand you a fucking sheet and go,
"We're doing Tracy Morgan. Here's the situation."
What the fuck? This sounds like you were recruited as a hitman.
Dude, it's crazy. And I was thinking to myself, if this doesn't go well, when he showed the guy, I was like, "Oh, if he kills me, they're going to throw me in a dumpster. These tapes get ripped up." And it's we never heard of this guy. We don't know what you're talking about. Another tragic story.
Camera show? No way.
That's it.
No, Ashton Kutcher, never heard of him.
It was, so.
That's incredible.
But it was a fun sort of it was
Did you work with Lady Gaga?
No.
Because she was on the show, right?
Oh, really?
As an actress. She was a punker.
No, I did.
Punker, yeah.
It was the first like they did 6 episodes. It was like Dak Shepard was the first guy. They did like Justin Timberlake and those guys, and then people started recognizing him. So they was still just kept continuing to film, and they hired me and BJ Novak.
Oh, nice.
And
from The Office.
Yeah, and this girl Jill Wagner, who used to host the show Wipeout. Super hot girl.
The Wipeout, like when they bounce on the balls.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite show.
I bring that up a lot. She hosted. Yeah,
it's funny for me. I'm such an idiot. Like I can watch I can watch all these great shows that like perfectly written, funniest shows of all time. You know, and then. But then, at the end of the day, Wipeout, just some fat idiot getting smacked in the face, falling into water. That is it. That's as good as it gets.
They stopped doing the show because someone died.
Did they?
Yeah. I'm 90. I don't know if you can look it up, but I'm 99%. And I'm great with facts.
Definitely.
So I'm Wipeout canceled. Yeah, because one of the guys fell on a ball, I think, and like snapped his neck. Like everything you think could happen. You know those big balls? Like if you land the wrong way, you'll get pinned up. And
not. The English one was the one I liked most, actually. I think the English one might have been the original. I'm not sure.
Oh, shortness of breath.
Yeah, but one of the tricks was you would see the things that pop out of the walls, and they would be at your feet. So you would have to look down to avoid them. And while you're looking down,
the
a big thing
shoots out of the wall. Yep.
And then you hit the ball and you feel, it's so funny.
It really is.
Honestly, and I'm almost embarrassed about how much I love watching just fat idiots fall. Any of them just bounce around like that.
Wipeout came before American Ninja Warrior, right?
Did it? I don't know.
Do you think I think it did, because I think American Ninja Warrior is like, wait a minute, people like to watch this stuff, and then if we get elite athletes, or like, and you can even get some jokers in there. They did that.
Yeah, but now they bring in someone who's kind of okay, right?
Yeah. My kids love my older son. Like that was his wheelhouse. Like from 4 years old to like 8 years old, American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
He fucking loved it.
Was he just running around the streets, jumping off walls?
Running around, like doing chin-ups and stuff like that. Just getting like monkey strength.
What's that street thing when they designed it together?
Parkour,
yeah.
He did parkour classes and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. And I had just enough twinkle fame at the time to be able to go. We walked the American Ninja Warrior finale red carpet.
Oh.
Mostly because Matt Eisman's a dope dude. Yeah, I don't know if you know Matt Eisman, a comedian. He's one of the hosts of the show.
Okay.
So I talked to him and he got me in. But yeah, the kids they loved it, dude.
Yeah.
We were pulling into the lot and like 3 Ninja Warriors were there and they recognized me and they came over to the car and my kids were like, "What the fuck? This is the best." It was like, yeah, pretty cool.
Bad. Yeah, you're like, "No, see, your old man's not a fucking dickhead."
Don't look at the internet, but he's not. Yeah,
boys. Today's podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's a new age form of treatment, and it's called therapy, right? It's where you, a man, you talk about the feelings that are inside of your brain and your heart and how that makes you feel. It's weird. It's crazy. But trust me, it works. I used to be regularly punching my hole and punching holes in drywall. I was a wreck, I was drinking a lot. Look at me now. Started therapy months ago and I haven't drank in 7 days. It's a fucking great thing to do. Men, really, we're not performing as elite as we used to be, and it's not for every single day the wage gap gets smaller, and I don't like it. What the fuck is going on? These weaklings are fucking catching up with us, boys. We gotta fucking lay down the law, fellas. Talk to a shrink and let them help them help you is what I'm trying to tell you. BetterHelp is a solid. This is the ad we're doing, folks. This is take 17 and it's staying in. We can't be here all fucking day with this shit, right? BetterHelp. Therapy is important, especially for guys. You know how it is. You get home, it's a long day, or you didn't get the raise you wanted, and you have this feeling of anxiety within your heart. And BetterHelp is a solid way for you to get all that stuff off your chest. Also, they have this fantastic situation where you can just pick and choose, like an a la carte menu, which therapist you want to work with. I was using it. I got someone, I didn't like her. She kept telling me how bad Trump was. So I was like, "Yo, see you later, dork." Ain't no lib cook fucking helping me, you dirty lib cook. Get out of here. She was just yapping about fucking Trump being a narcissist or something. I was like, I don't want to fucking, what are you talking about? Let's talk about fucking Joe Biden, bitch. Anyway, that's like the type of fun you can have at therapy. You know what I mean? Listen, if you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/Collie, COLLIE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Collie, COLLIE. That's so they don't have enough of those. Those things should be like rented out all year. Outside of the show, you should be able to just sign you and your buddies up to go do that.
The liability you would have to have.
Is that the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah. The insurance costs so much.
They do that on the, those, I don't know, you don't have kids or anything, but they have those trampoline houses, like those they do like night parties for adults.
Oh yeah.
And people get fucking wild, dude. They glow in the dark and they're all boozed up and they're 100 trampolines, but trampolines are the worst.
I know.
There was a Yankees pitcher that snapped his ankle in half and never pitched again. Jabba Chamberlain. He was at his kid's bouncy house, jumped like one of those things.
Fuck him, go Mets. Fuck him.
Yeah. Fuck you, dude. Are you a Met fan?
Yeah, of course. I'm Irish, dude. Yo, get a fuck off.
Why do the Mets and Irish have to do with anything? What does that have to do with it?
Underdogs, real Yankees are just full of people from Oklahoma who want to support winners.
You mean Mickey Mantle? I'll take that any fucking day of the week. Hold on.
I don't know enough about baseball, but
the Irish kid that was here's the
thing
my neighborhood. He was a Met fan too.
Well, all the Irish moved to Queens, and it's beside City Field. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, Woodside is huge for Irish, and that's the last stop on the
Koreans and Irish, right?
Koreans, not Koreans, but certainly Asian.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever met a Korean. I don't stop them and ask them, but
Wait,
they're not Koreans in Woodside.
Yeah, not in Queens. There's no Koreans.
In Queens, there's probably some Koreans. I'm not that's not a hill I'm not willing to die on. But then they're Nepali.
Oh, okay.
In Woodside, it's all Nepal and other versions of Nepali.
Yeah, in LA, it's all a lot of Koreans.
A lot of Koreans in LA.
Yeah, so
interesting.
Yeah, tons of the Koreatown. Tons of Koreans. Koreans, Armenians. Yeah. No Armenians here.
No, right? I think. I
mean, I don't mean
Russian.
We're not doing a checklist or anything.
We should though.
This sounds a little more like check. Any Armenians? No, good.
Well, Armenians are just like Russians, right? Really? No. You can head up to Sheep's Head Bay.
Ask Sam. I did a benefit for him every year.
He's Armenian, is he?
I don't know. No, dude. I don't know. You met he. Whatever. One of them hates the other one, and so he's one of them. And I did the benefits for whatever he was. And people thought I was Armenian, I think, because they brought me up and they heard Steve Rannazzisi. All they heard was Zizi. Steve Zizi, and that's like an Armenian name.
And they hated that?
And then when I came out, they were like, "You're not Armenian."
Wow. They were disappointed. I'm not learning about the differences between different whites,
I don't even consider Armenians whites.
Yeah, whatever they are. Like, there's a lot of pressure for you to differentiate between Asian cultures and things like that. So I'll learn that. I'm not going to learn the difference.
No, you're not breaking down whites.
That's crazy. Come on, I don't care.
Whites is white.
White is white.
Yeah.
Unless you're Italian.
That's what I knew. I knew it. I knew it. No one ever. Ari, by the way, he's like, you're the worst of the whites. And we have the same argument.
Worst of the whites, yeah.
The worst of the whites. And
WOW, yeah.
And it's tough to argue against sometimes. And I'm half Italian. It's one of but it's tough to argue against. I've been around my people, and they're horrible sometimes, but great.
Yeah, they're great. Scum, but they are great.
Yeah,
good food,
great
key bump
great
fest.
music, key bump fest, fist fights, aggro, racial insensitivities always. Dude.
Yeah, good pizza. They're great people, but low life.
I have to put when I go around my friends from Long Island, I have to put on a different mindset.
Oh, I think I have to say accent or something.
No, accent. I mean, I'm getting it back now, I think.
Nice. Are you smart? So LA, sunny all year round. People are nice. People are a little bit fake. I'm sure you probably felt.
A little bit.
I'm sure you felt, this is the thing, you're trying to get out more and meet comedians. You probably felt liked more in LA because people go out of their way to be like, hey, and give you a big kiss on the lips and be like, hey, Steve, how's it going?
Yeah, but you know what it was? It was like, I felt genuinely liked. And then you go off. I felt there was genuine admiration. I felt like at one point.
I don't know.
Maybe I was just fooled well enough.
That was so sad.
I know, it's very sad.
I felt genuinely liked.
Dude, you know how you know it's because when you don't feel that anymore, you go, oh, I remember what that used to feel like.
Yes,
you know?
okay.
So, yeah.
So you felt genuinely liked in LA.
And then you realize everyone sort of, you don't, like, whatever. I don't. But I didn't really feel like I changed that much for whatever I went through, success, failure, whatever. And I feel like a lot of people, maybe they didn't really like me. They just were like on their way up, and now they've gotten to a certain point where they don't need to like anybody anymore. So there's a lot of that you feel.
You haven't come in with the I think a lot of LA comics move to New York and they come in and they hit the ground like really running in terms of like they know everyone, they meet everyone, and then they're best friends with everyone. And there's because there's a certain social climbing that works in LA, and then they come into New York and they do it and it works, and then after a while everyone starts to go, oh, this guy sucks.
Dude, you know what it is? It's like, I don't know how, it's like, to me, I'm like, if I see you, like we saw each other the other night, hey, what's up? How are you? Do the podcast, great. But like, if we weren't doing this right now, if I saw you tonight, I would say hello to you again, but I wouldn't go over and be like, hey, what's up?
The big hug.
Because we did it already the other night, like LA people are like, oh, that's my friend, and we are now friends. And now we are like, that's it. Like, there's no more like getting to know. Like, I still feel like he might not want to be my friend. He might have enough fucking friends, you know? Like, you have
of course.
I'm not really looking for any more friends.
I know.
I'm just looking to feel comfortable at work.
Yeah,
you know,
you're about to do a dog shit room in New York. You just bombed on some new material or whatever. Like you get Subway, it stinks like shit, and then it's just a big celebration. LA's a big celebration of everything, you know. Yeah. Except for my party, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
That's true. That's going to be a big celebration.
That's going to be a real celebration. It's late. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be nuts. But LA is like that. And sometimes I'll see someone on it. Like you see them on a Tuesday, and then you see them on Wednesday. Like you don't need to say hello. It's like like it covers you for the week. Yep. Like if you don't see someone for a while, you might.
Then you're like, oh, what's up? How are you? But yeah, if you see someone every day, you're like,
don't need to say goodbye. You'll see people say goodbye. A lot of LA comics, they'll do a big glamorous goodbye.
I'm gonna be back real soon.
I'm not a walker. Hey,
they're telling you when you're coming back. I don't give a fuck. I'm not leaving. I'll be here.
And you go, everyone's talking about you, dude. Everyone's talking about you. Things are happening. Oh, and you go, shut the fuck up.
I can't take that. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, but you're smiling less maybe? Have you noticed yourself smiling?
If anyone ever said that to me, I'd be like, who? Tell me exactly. I need to know who. Like, for validation purposes, I need to know exactly who and what they said.
Everyone's talking about you.
No, I need to know. Like, dude.
No, it's bad. It's bad. You don't want to know.
That's what I know. Oh, God. Yeah, dude. I have some friends in New York already, and I've got a good friend who moved here, you know, Ari moved here a long time ago, so it helps. Friend
of the show, Ari Shaffir, he was naked. He did a podcast naked.
Oh, really? In this chair?
No.
No,
that same microphone.
Yeah, same mic.
Farted on the mic.
If I hadn't had his balls on my face more than 4 times in my life, I would feel gross about it, but I hate to say it, it's the truth.
Yeah.
He's been a friend for a long time, and one time I broke up with a girl and I had to stay with him. Because he was like, because you cheated on your girlfriend, you have to live with me for right now. He would leave me. It was like July, 100 degrees. He would make me sleep on an air mattress in his apartment, and I'm talking it was like 1,000 degrees.
Anticipation of
no
whatever.
Sheets.
Yeah.
Right. So like, you know, I'm miserable. I come back from doing sets. I get like lay on the air mattress. It's 100 degrees. You take your shirt off. Then you roll over, your skin fucking. And I barely like could just get enough to get to sleep. I had to get to sleep before Ari came home. Right. So I go to sleep and I would come home and he would check to see if I was sleeping by putting his balls on my face and taking a picture of it every night. And then I would wake up in the morning to that picture. Right.
You had to print it up.
Print it up on the picture. And then a list of chores to do.
Right?
A list of chores to do because you cheated on and you're living with me here. The dishes, this and that, right? And then around 1 o'clock, he would open up his bedroom door, right? As I'm like cleaning like Cinderella, cleaning the. He comes out, his room all air conditioning, freezing. It's like, oh, yeah. He's got a robe on, a sweatshirt. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, Ari's a fucking absolute lunatic.
Oh yeah. Dude. Yeah. Yes, talk about someone who's hasn't changed, but has people's vision or view of him has changed.
Really?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
people did not like Ari for a very long time.
No?
I mean, people still don't. A lot of people.
Yeah.
But as far as like
Lakers fans?
I mean, Lakers fans, black people.
Women.
Women.
Yeah,
one-armed
the
people.
disabled.
Yeah.
Gentiles.
Yeah. So he's pissed a decent amount of people off.
Yeah. But the guy who cleans the couch. The guy who cleans the chair.
This chair.
The guy had to edit out his balls. Didn't you have to edit out his dick?
Oh,
He had
man.
to
Pixelate that dick?
You have to pixelate that dick.
Damn.
That's a good.
And it's not a bad dick. I mean, as far as dicks go, you know, it's big enough that you have to be like, this is going to take me a couple hours.
It's a big enough. Yeah, we made him do tiny pixels, so it took hours. Each one handheld. Yeah, he's disgusting. He has like a prisoner of war body. It stinks. He has a fungus infection in his stomach or something. It's nasty.
No, he's a
horrible. He's like a horrible like human.
Yeah, but
not a person, but yeah, physically
horrible.
That's a rough body.
His butthole.
It's falling out. Yeah, he has a cow tongue hanging out his ass for some reason.
It's like a flap.
It's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And
do you reckon if he was in prison, like they would spare him?
Here's what they would do,
because it's like not because you take it out, it looks like you broke a bag of.
I think this would be Ari's game plan. Number one, try to make them laugh so that they can't get hard. I don't think you can really.
All we just do is act. You kidding me?
Yeah, I know. Or
guys, have you ever heard of Jews?
Yeah. Look, sit down. I'm going to break something down for you. Or, use that. Really strengthen up that ass flap so that you can't get. You can't open it up.
It's just a fucking
like
Yeah, of course.
Like that thing that when you go through the tunnel, it just those doors that are there, like they just close it up. The case, like just boom, close up the tunnel.
Absolutely. Yeah, he just locks
it up.
Or it's probably numb down there, so that it's like probably doesn't even feel it. It's like fine. I have like an extra cushion down there.
That's the other one. This doesn't bother me. I don't even feel it.
He goes, this isn't my ass. This is a thing that's protecting my ass.
This is your guys' insecurities. This is you doing this to you. I'm just a vessel.
Like, he goes, you don't own me at all. So I'm not your prison mistress.
You have no ownership over me.
Yeah, he would do pranks. He'd like leave a mousetrap up there or something. Yeah, that's what he would do. He would like we waiting to get.
The joke's on you. I just shit on your dick.
I love Ari. Ari's a good guy.
He really is. But yes, the evolution of people's feelings towards him is funny to me because
so people didn't like him.
Yeah,
everyone
not that it like everyone. He's like a lot of people are like, oh, he's like the patron saint. It's like you have one story of him like people could pick out the Kobe Bryant, whatever it is, the thing, and then you have like
the Kobe thing, the Artemis girl thing.
He writes an anonymous letter to JFL saying like you guys have to pay for new faces, flights, and hotels, and all those people like. And here's a list of 18 or 25 very powerful comedians that I've talked to underground. Without making it a big deal, who have all signed on to this. And if we're not threatening you, do the right thing.
Yeah.
But you know what we could do if you don't do the right thing.
Yeah.
And and you should do the right thing, and you know what the right thing is. And then they do the right thing, and they go, "You're right, Ari. You're right. We should be doing this."
Yeah.
And stuff like that happens where you're like, "Oh fuck, that has nothing to do with Ari. Ari gets his flight paid for.
Yeah.
He gets his hotel paid for.
That's what. Yeah. That's
but he knows all because he talks to every single comedian. Yeah. He knows the shit that people go through to try to get up there.
Yeah, that's the side of Ari that I know, and I try to hold on to. and because like he did that thing years ago where he did a advice for open micers or something at the store years ago, and people still check that out now.
They should.
If you're an open mic comedian and you want to learn about industry type of stuff,
he loves to.
This is pre-clips, by the way, so I don't know how much.
Clip it.
Clip that.
Clip Ari's talk about.
I'm just saying. Yeah, the advice he gives is pre-reels and shit like that. So I don't know.
It wasn't like he just like came up with this idea of being like, here's what I've never got. We didn't get taught anything on how to like look for an agent or how to talk to an agent or what to do when you get this thing or
9/11 or whatever.
How to fucking make your name. How to get that,
That's rule one, I think. That's what Ari opened with.
Yeah.
He's like,
look, we've had some stumbles. And this brand is very important to us. So if you feel insecure about yourself, you don't need to lie about something crazy to make yourself, special. You just keep moving on.
Say you aren't, even if you are there, say you aren't there.
Yeah, make it
distance
different.
yourself. Is it something? I know we don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about it because obviously it's been done to death. But is there something that you find hard to shake or something? Because it is.
Yes,
it is. I know that, but it is such an interesting thing. Do you understand that? Like,
no, I think
you don't think it's interesting.
Oh
at all.
no, well, no, of course it's interesting.
A celebrity who.
Oh, of course.
Like, so now that's always going to be, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what you get.
It's just an interesting thing. It's actually more interesting than actually being involved. I think.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, we don't care about lying here at all. By the way, we love lying. I'm not from Ireland at all.
I mean, I know that's hard to say, but I don't really care anymore about it either.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I do, but I don't. You know,
I've moved on. Clean your own.
But also it's like. I feel like we're at the point where it's like, interesting fact. Like, interesting fact.
It's so interesting.
Like, did you know, like, this guy did this too? You know, like, whatever. So.
Because most lies don't go, like, national like that. Like, lies like that, I guess.
No.
You know? So now, maybe you could come up with a new thing, though, to shake that. So that's, like, actually lying about.
Well,
9/11 is your second interesting thing, but then we just need that new thing.
My only thought, like, to going back, if I could do it over again, was like, I feel like after the last, like, I don't know, it's been not almost 8 years. It's like people... So many people have lied since then about things and bigger, maybe different things that like, and just leaned into it and been like, fuck, I would like,
what do you,
like people just don't care. Like they'll just continue to like lie and like stick to it. And like
George Santos or whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, whoever. Santa. But it's like, so I'm like, I wonder now, like if I just like didn't just go like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Like there was no like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was no like cover up. I was like, well, figure it out for yourselves, or you do your own thing, or maybe I did work there, or maybe I did say that, or maybe I did, or you can't find that.
Like, I have my truth. You go, I have my truth, and you have your truth, and
exactly.
Let's leave it at that. That'd be great.
And I identify as someone that worked there, and I'm shattered because of this. What like. Like the spin game, like I had no interest ever. I would have like no part of me was ever like I got to spin this or make this. It was just like, all right, I got to say I'm sorry and then move on with my life. I'm Irish Catholic, so it's like that's what you do. But I'm like now seeing like how people are just like they don't give a fuck.
No one cares.
And they don't.
We're too busy.
And it's actually kind of like. It's admired now where you're like, this guy just stuck it out.
Honestly, I love a good like lie like that. Lie through your teeth.
I mean,
never stop lying.
Not saying what I did was right, but
it was right. It was the right thing to do. Come on, guys.
Yeah, here we go. No, I'm just saying, like it's interesting how we view things differently now, especially when it comes to like lying and things like that. But overall, I think I'm at the point now where it's like interesting fact.
Interesting
and
fact.
not necessary, but people do every single day of my life. Never in the street, never once, never. Ari and I have talked about this. Never once.
They lie about.
Has anyone ever come up to me and been like, "Fuck you, man"? You're a piece of shit, dude. Never. Never once. One person heckled me one time in the show.
Yeah, most people bothered by 9/11 died of asbestos poisoning by now.
Yeah,
so
it's
not
like
even around. We moved on.
We moved on.
All those,
they're good with
all those squares.
Yeah, all those squares are online. But yeah, every post and stuff like that, you get like like I did Legion of Skanks the other day for the first time.
Oh yeah,
like,
I watched a little bit. They were bashing in the comments.
Well, like the day before they announce it, it's like it's like that's every comment.
Oh yeah, but that's just Skanks for you. No
so
matter what.
I figured. Yeah, but I mean,
you did great. I watched a little bit.
Oh, thanks.
That was your first time with them.
The first time, yeah, it was good.
It was great because a lot of people don't do too well, especially the first time.
It's a lot of talking, a lot of a lot of personalities.
But it's good.
I felt
it's chaotically ran. Everyone talks at the same time.
Yeah, it is a lot of overlapping, but I found a couple good spots to get in. But yeah, I was just like, I just want to hang and be funny, and that's it. It's tough to. I don't mind talking about it and doing it, but I get, if it's going to be the thing, it's like, oh Christ Almighty,
Yeah.
For not for you, I'm talking about for people, like people.
No one's bothered by it. It's just such an interesting thing. It's hard to shake.
Here's the people I feel bad for now. The people like, fuck it. Like, I almost could pull it up. Like, fuck this, Legion of Skanks. Fuck this guy, the 9/11 guy, blah, 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 lying. Some guy writes, get over it, dude. Like the normal, like people fuck up. And then he just goes, and I saw that and I was like, I feel bad for you because this guy is just boom, boom, boom. And he's not going to let it go. So you're like, oh. I feel bad for the defenders, the people that are like, but he's not that because they get like fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
And so who wants? They don't.
Yeah,
need that.
look. Yeah.
You know,
we've been through. You just can't be in the comments. The comments are crazy. Do you know what I mean? Just any comments anywhere. Just
do you turn your shit off? I should turn it off. The comments
on like Instagram or something.
Yeah.
No, you know what?
But isn't that like
you look like such
the
a
purpose?
you just like look like a bitch, man. If
you
you know, the goal is to leave the comments there and then you pretend like you don't read them. And you sort of act as if like, I'm not reading the comments, but you're really super glued to them comments. But the people that leave those comments, I don't like their opinions. Like no matter what it is, kind of.
I read every one of them, but I just bury it all down here.
Of course.
That's
but
what
even
you're
if
supposed to do,
but
right?
it's also even if it's like, hey, great episode. Could have been longer or something. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Shut your fucking.
Name one other thing you think is good.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll tell you, if it's not something I think, you're dumb.
My demographic, the people I like the most, are not leaving comments on YouTube videos or anything. They're just not. They're not.
No.
They're the silent. They're the silent majority.
Hey, great set.
They're too busy getting pussy, dude. You kidding me? Sorry.
They're partying, dude.
I'm fingering chicks.
Just
I'm fingering 18-year-olds.
March 17th at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes.
I'll plug the shit out of it. I love that room. That's my favorite. One of my favorite rooms in the country.
Well, you know, and I stole this from Legion of Skanks because every year they do a New Year's Eve thing in the main room.
Oh, that's good.
And they started off in the smaller rooms. Now it's like a big thing. Mm-hmm. It's like their annual celebration. So I was like, oh yeah, yoink. Well, I'd love to do
Why
that.
not?
And then so mine's about St. Patrick's Day because St. Patrick's Day always stinks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to do it like hopefully every year in LA.
That's cool.
This is the first year.
St. Patrick's Day usually stinks in LA too.
I'm sure it does, and that's kind of why I think it's gonna be the best place in the country is Savannah, Georgia.
Why?
I have no idea. Can you just Google an image of that? It's the whole place turns insane for St. Patrick's Day.
What the fuck?
Savannah, Georgia is
there a lot of Irish people in Savannah, Georgia?
No, I don't even know the history of it, but I promise if you look at these photos,
I would have thought New York. I used to go to New York.
New York. New York is busy.
The parade.
Here's the problem: New York doesn't shut down for anything, right? Unless nothing really stops New York to a standstill like that. But Savannah, Georgia, is notorious as like the biggest celebration in the country. You know, per whatever. And
is it? Oh, yeah. I wonder if it's like on St. Patrick's Day or they do it like the Sunday before.
There's a whole week, and then there's all these like Boston comedians that aren't Irish, but their name is McFiggin or something. So they'll
no idea why
they'll do like the big Irish tour, and then they bring out a fucking midget with bagpipes and all this type of shit. It's like really offensive.
Really, a leprechaun.
Yeah,
with a pot of gold.
Exactly.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, but no one's actually Irish. They just have it. They're all just
I wonder why they started this whole maybe they just wanted a fucking thing.
Got to sell your tickets. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but this I don't know why the Savannah thing started off, but apparently it's just notorious. So I could go do an Irish show there, but that's like a waste. Like I don't want to do an Irish show.
Would you be worshipped though? Could you get extra cash? You could probably get extra cash. You're like, I'm OG.
I've never been offered those big paydays, but I know other Irish comedians, and they do corporates and stuff on St. Patrick's Day, and they make thousands. I don't know how they just are in the world of like being able to charge someone fucking thousands, and I'm just like
on St. Patrick's Day only,
or around that time.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Irish tours goes on during the thing. You know, a lot of like the real Irish tour. No, we're the real Irish tour type of bullshit all going on. But I've always tried to distance myself from that bullshit as much as I can. You know, I didn't want to be the Irish comedian. I wanted to just be a comedian who's Irish. You know.
Yeah.
Not like fat comedians are always like, oh, I'm the fat comedian. It's like, can you be a comedian who's fat? You know, why does that have to be your hook?
Yeah.
But
be the funny comedian.
That's well,
try.
well.
Funny and fat is funny though.
Fat is naturally. It is my favorite, and I'll say this right. Yeah. Of all the things, like not that you have a guy who's an Indian comedian, and all you talked about being Indian, and it bugs you or whatever, and whatever version of that is, your hook is. Being fat is my favorite one.
It is because you did it to yourself. You know, like even a great like if you had a handicap. And you told a great joke about your handicap yourself. You still like, that's a great joke. That's really funny. But like, I still feel a little bit bad because of something like, this isn't a, but if you're like fat and you tell a great joke about yourself and you're like, that's a great joke. And that fatty fucking did it to himself too.
What if a guy has a handicap that he got from crashing his car drunk driving? And now he's kind of banged up. And then he does jokes about his handicap. He gave it to himself. Is that okay?
Yes. That's the one caveat. Yeah, there's a loophole there.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I cut off my legs?
Yeah, but if you're born with CP, then it's like, oh, shit.
That's barely a thing. You know what I mean?
I guess.
You can be an author. You can have an Oscar-winning movie about you.
Did you see, speaking of that, did you see The Whale? I don't know if I'm ruining.
No, I haven't seen The Whale.
I watched the other night, and no spoiler, but
When did it come out? Recently?
yeah, I don't know. I got like.
Is it great or terrible? I
It's
don't.
not.
It's just about.
I don't know if I have a dissenting opinion upon it. My wife is like a reader. I know. I
don't know.
It's hard to do that. My wife, she's a reader, so she's like, you're not understanding the correlation it is to Moby Dick, and I was like, I don't. I'm like, because this guy's so fat.
He's
like,
a
it's
fat
yeah,
whale. Oh no!
It's like it was like the worst episode of 600 Pound Life, which I do love.
They should have made it about a woman.
Yeah.
And then we had the whale, and they go, no, it's princess.
I mean, and he's great. He's great. Brendan Fraser's great, and the fat suit's great. It's not like
suit, right.
It's not like Shallow Hal where you're like,
Can we
wait
get
a
an
minute.
image of this up? The whale, the movie.
Yeah,
please.
But it's Darren Aronofsky, and I'm sure if I was smarter and I understood, he's very gentle and like kind and so look at it. I mean, like
Yeah, he's
but
like, oh, look at him.
He's not.
Look at his fatty.
But you still. You're like, you did it to yourself, fatty. But you feel like in the movie, they explain why. And it is beautiful and slow. But I'm like...
So we're supposed to feel sad for this guy who kind of suffers from an eating disease type of thing where you just can't stop eating?
He had emotional problems. Something happened to him and then he started eating his problems away and blah, blah, blah.
When did something happen to him? As a child?
No, older.
No, well, that's not like... That's
what I'm saying. I'm like, you don't get that fat.
Fucking do heroin like an adult. Don't get fat.
Like, why that one?
Yeah.
I guess food is fun, but like, you can't just do food. Like, if you were like, I'm a heroin addict and I got super fat too just because I'm lazy and all I eat is cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if heroin you're inclined to getting fat, but like, you got to have something else.
No, heroin people don't get fat.
Oh, they don't?
No.
They just do heroin?
No heroin addicts fat, right? Are they? They're not. No, it's like
what's a fat drug addict? Who's a fat drug addict?
Rich coke guy, maybe? Rich coke?
Maybe alcoholics.
Booze?
Yeah, alcoholics, booze. Because that way you're like, well, this guy's fat because he boozes all the time.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
if you just get fat, you're just like, you're a pussy.
There's something about
if I'm going,
fat
dude,
bullshit that
I'm gonna start choke jerking myself and see how long that fucking lasts for. Like that's a good one to get into.
That's not bad.
Yeah, Steve's skinny. It seems put together, but he's gonna die soon because he's choke jerks himself to death.
A choke jerking thing is a dangerous territory though, because if you love it too much, that's my whole thing.
I'm not even a choker. I don't like to be choked, nor will I ever choke anyone.
You don't know no choking going on?
Never.
Interesting.
Never.
Wow. How do you feel? How do you feel dominant? How do you feel like good about yourself if you're not done it?
Coming.
Oh yeah.
When I come, I feel great.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So, and she lets me come, and so I do that.
Hell yeah.
And how I get there is
that's
up
when
to
you
me.
put a ring
yeah.
on.
Yeah. That's how I get there. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't really have a thing. I don't like choking to me. See, I would like even if I was. I don't even think if I was single and a girl asked me to choke her, I would be able to do it. I don't think I'd be able to.
I think you have to in this day and age. Fonzie's young. How old are you, Fonzie? 21, 22?
Are you choking?
Yeah.
Of course he's choking.
What the
dude,
fuck,
They're
man?
making out their choking.
Dude, and we were talking about coke. Are you doing coke too? Like you would just
He's a coke choker.
Coke choker, dude.
He's a coke choker.
Bump choker for the birds. But those are two fentanyl and sexual assault allellations,
especially in the greater Philadelphia.
Yeah. How do you fucking navigate and slalom your way through that?
Head down to fucking Seaside or Sea Isle or any of these Jersey Shore dirtbag.
I was in Atlantic City on Tuesday.
Exactly.
That place has always been a shithole and will always be a shithole.
It's just teenage girls who've passed out from choking. They're just everywhere you go. You just have to step over them. It's horrible because these girls that's all they need.
There's no way girls are all of a sudden all into choking. There's no way all our moms are like, finally someone stepped up for us. We all want to be choked for our lives.
It was the vaccine. They
made it a joke. But like, there's no way everyone's loved choking. This or yearned for to be choked for this long.
I think young girls nowadays are just brought up watching so much porn that they just said it's hyper thing and hyper performative. So I feel like bad because like according to these kids, you talk to them like a 20-year-old girl is like a pure porn star slut type of a thing.
There's no like
she's like piss on me.
Yeah, I was working on this,
the ass. Let's
this
send
bit about like
nudes.
Just desensitivity. I'm like there's no like talking like when I go on porn, I go to my category. Like I go right to it. I don't look at all the other nonsense.
What's the category?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, you piece of shit. Come on, bleep it out. Bleep it out.
No. Go. It's Leslie Jones.
I knew it.
But what I like, he 21, dude. Like you said, like he has the internet from day one. So like, there's no world, everything is open. There's nothing. ever. So no one is ever going to give you all that. No one. There's no one that's going to give you normal person. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you will find the person that makes you happy. But like the version of the way I wanted my life to work, like with kids and like, and a house and like, and introducing them to like friends and stuff. You're never going to find a girl that's going to do all the things you want and then also be okay to do all that. I just don't know. Maybe. Maybe I'm limiting myself.
Yeah.
But I'm worried because I feel like this guy wants choke jerking and nipple clamps and squirting and like all that. And like this girl's 21 years old, dude.
Yeah, and he expects her to pay the rent and make the dinner. This is just these kids, man.
I mean, look, let me tell you something. I do all that and I don't get what you get. Like I'm saying, I would gladly pay the rent and make the dinner if I was getting the fucking the fucking whole circus of fucking shenanigans going on in the bedroom. If I was getting that, it'd be, but that's not the life I chose.
I know. Some days the fantasy's gone, but I didn't even know. I remember when people started first even sending nudes. So I'm 32. So, I'm 12. I'm 8 years older than you. But I remember even like when someone just told me, he's like, oh yeah, I'm getting nudes from this girl on my phone. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, I've just been sending regular photos. But like, it was tricky.
I've never gotten a nude.
There you go. So I'm
actually, I take that back. Once in a while, like
Ari will send you his ass.
Yeah, well, that's I get that sweet ass flap shot. He goes, I think I'm like, look like a bigger dude. No, someone like you get like you have the requests on. I only do Instagram. I don't do TikTok or Twitter. But I like you get the requests of the people that you know, and then the requests, and then you look into those, and sometimes it's like a chick, and you like view photo, you open that up, and it's just like her topless or whatever. But I don't know her.
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect.
But it's never like here's something I want you to look at because I want to fuck you. I just feel like that's like those are like Russian bots.
I'd
that's
imagine,
not a real person.
I imagine they're bots. It depends who you are.
No one's ever been like, I went to your show tonight. Here's my pussy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think they do exist, but they're for Matt Rife, friend of the show.
Yeah, I mean,
prettiest boy in comedy, dude. I'm not gonna go to some of his shows just to pick up women,
dude. I'm
gonna buy a ticket to him in the garden.
I was in Chicago doing shows the week, like 2 weeks into December, and he was doing New Year's, and they were getting the tarps ready for the pussies flop sweat
course,
like everywhere. Like they were like laying the tarps
they needed
down.
Mops. Yeah.
They go, we have 8 shows with Matt. I don't know him, but I've only seen the picture.
Beautiful,
and
man.
I'm like, he looks like a fucking soap opera guy.
He's just selling tickets to like in minutes to all chicks, and it's just wall to wall.
Yeah,
I was told like, the type of girls that go, they're all just throwing them, and he's just like batting them away, and the women that are just like.
I saw that with Dalia.
Yeah.
Well,
he didn't bat them away, did he? He just smacked them in the face a few times. Whatever he did, I don't know.
No, I don't think he did that.
No. He just went.
I mean,
he laid down the law.
He was like, this.
Goes,
it was powerful, dude. It's all powerful.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course, people get drawn up in the thing. But
yeah.
So I'm sure Matt Rife's getting a lot of fucking clip pics.
Sure.
I'm sure it's just he can't even look at
files.
Yeah. Incriminating.
I have a good buddy that's like old school, good looking, like 80s Court McCowan. He's a comedian.
Okay.
He used to run a Playboy comedy show for like all the 2000s. He's been doing comedy for like 15, 20 years. But he was in like he moved, big cokehead, moved from Oklahoma to LA at 18 years old just to visit, and then never left. Got a job that week being John Stamos' stand-in for whatever that fucking TV show John Stamos was in the 80s or something like that. So then just
Days
hangs
of Our
out,
Lives.
whatever. He's hanging out. Sure. He's very good looking, and like just years and years of just like single pussy. Like just, and he's a coxman, a la like Brian Callen. Like it's like guys that know how to handle girls, and the Rolodex of women that he has, and the pictures that he has. It's like just unbelievable. So I live vicariously. Like he'll just show me like look at like 4 files on his phone.
Yeah.
You have to have organization for that.
Yeah, you got to hire an intern to like categorize.
Like
stuff.
Matt's social media person has to deal with like. All right, put the pussy pics over there. Put the request for comps over here.
You know what I would like to see?
Like there's an organization.
There's that famous story of Dane Cook, and he's like at a meeting for whoever the fuck, Comedy Central, and they want to talk about numbers, and like, we don't think those numbers are that big or whatever. And he goes, oh yeah, let me log into your computer real quick, and he opens up a MSN or whatever, like the instant messaging bullshit, and he made himself like online, and it just starts going bling 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 bling, bling, and the computer shut down because it couldn't handle the amount of messages that he was getting on the thing. And he was like, it's like this like real cool, you'll call me, whatever the fucking bullshit about his numbers. I'd love to do that with Matt Rife, and where he goes, oh yeah, and he goes, show us tits, and then he posts on Instagram, and then the phone explodes.
I mean,
it just be.
It's got to be insane.
It's got to be crazy.
Especially with the you know what we were saying before, the 21-year-old lady now is like, I'm aggressive. I'm going to go get what I want.
But I remember like trying to get nudes, I guess, from chicks when I was 24, 25, and it was like they were reluctant. Maybe just me, but it felt like more culturally there was more like, oh no, that'll be on the internet forever, and this. And then these other new generations, that doesn't even come into their brain.
No, dude.
They all just constantly just whatever.
I had to take my two sons, especially my older one's 14, and be like, dude, let me tell you something right now. Do not send any pictures to anyone of anything. Do not, because they'll never go anywhere. Yeah. And I scare them like, dude, I have like you don't know what's going to come back. You make a mistake, and I like, you know, they know my shit. I'm like, I just like, you don't know what's going to come back and bite you later on, so don't do it.
Yeah.
And then I don't ever ask. I don't want to ever see a fucking screen grab of a girl, and because you like send me and a bubble that said you said send me that. Like, don't ask, dude.
Yeah.
Don't ask, because you don't know what you're asking for and you don't know what you're getting. So just don't. I'm like, just talk and then get to know each other. I truly do. I'm like, I don't know. And you might not be cool and you might not be the most aggressive guy out there, but thank God he's very good looking. He's my oldest son's. I can talk to him like that because he's very good looking and he's not going to have a problem. Yeah. Like, girls will talk to him. If he was fucking ugly, yeah, you better be like, dude, beg you're him, fucked. You better become wealthy.
Beg him for tits. Dude. Yeah. Send whatever photos you can.
I would have given the same speech about the don't ask and request, but you better become wealthy, because you're never going to get solicited. It's never coming your way. You're always going to be the aggressor.
They're in sports, right? What did you say? Little league? Baseball?
Well, my youngest plays baseball, football, and basketball, and the older one plays football, wrestling, and
wrestling.
Nice. Lacrosse.
Good stuff. You worried about football at all? Getting the fucking
I didn't love it. I didn't love it.
But they chose it.
Well, we moved from LA where they played soccer and stuff like that and baseball. Yeah. And then we moved to LA, and my older son's starting middle school at public school for the first time. He was starting 7th grade, and he's like, I'm worried it's going to be like, you know, like, I'm thinking it's going to be like prison. Like, I told him, like, dude, you got to just fight to your death.
Smack the biggest guy.
Meanwhile, public school now is like, they have parades for you when you come in, like, welcome. Do you have a wheelchair? Here's our wheelchair access.
And they'll make TikToks for you?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Great. Like, they love you. And especially, he's like,
wheelchair
from California. Yeah. You know, whatever you need.
They got rid of the steps. Dude.
So he tells me, he goes, nobody plays soccer here the first day. He goes, everyone plays football. I go, yeah. And he's my oldest son's not like, he's a good athlete. He's not competitive. He doesn't care who wins and loses. So like, I was like, oh, football doesn't seem like an aggressive thing that you would go. He's like, I'm doing it. I got to make friends.
Yeah, great.
And he signed up and did it and just became a really good shutdown cornerback in 2 years. Oh, wow. And now he loves it. And so it's like, oh, he just completely like found something that he really enjoys. And so what was a worry for me, he's become good at, and plus we're a small school, dude. We're playing small.
Yeah. He's not getting creamed by fucking.
Yeah. Mostly Caucasian.
Yeah.
People of similar size.
When we say small, we mean, that's what we mean. We don't want.
We are not. We are not going after it.
You don't want to. You've never seen him play against someone where you go, "There's no way he's 14."
Yeah,
there's no way that kid is 14.
No. My younger son with baseball, we've done that. My younger son's a really good baseball player.
21-year-old.
So, we've done.
He comes in shaven. Yeah,
we played in a polar bash tournament, and like 2 days after Christmas, upstate, they had like a little dome. You play like 3 games in one day. One kid was, told that he's 6'2". 11 years, 6'2". Yeah. He tried to bring his birth certificate.
Yeah,
people look at it. It's like written on like fucking. cardboard. I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah, just a photo.
I mean, this kid's like, he hit a ball that fucking popped the dome, the roof thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening here, dude?
Yeah, he drove himself.
Yeah, he's shaving.
Yeah.
I saw him walk to the car and he got in the front seat with his dad. His dad's like, no, get in the back seat. You're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, because it's like,
Yeah, of course. So,
Yeah.
And did you ever hear about the Nigerian soccer scandal of them lying about their ages forever?
No.
So first of all, culturally, I don't
Let me
think
preface this with
you
culturally.
Hey, put the camera on me so this doesn't go.
Yeah.
Steve Rannazzisi
Is in no way, shape, or form associated with the next comment.
No, the Nigerian. First of all, the match fixing scandal is not even what I'm talking about. But Nigeria, I believe, is a very corrupt inherent in their culture of the country. That's as far as I know. And I'm not going to be so far to tell you, Ireland is like that. Ireland is like a naturally corrupt people.
Yeah.
And we always like steal from work and, it's just natural.
Yeah. Yes.
All the politicians are bribed. All the cops are bribed.
Yep.
And, every now and again, you'll be able to buy a TV that fell off the back of a truck.
But the
That's
problem
just
with Nigeria is there's a microscopes on it more because they're a very poor country. So it looks way worse.
They send a lot of emails. They've been kind of,
All right.
But so what these guys would do is they would just make fake birth certificates. Mm-hmm. So they'd be like a 20-year-old from Nigeria, and he would say he was 16. So then everyone was like, "This guy's a fucking animal for 16." And they would like,
man.
they won the World Cup. They won the under 19s or the under 16s World Cup, and everyone, Pele was like, "Fuck it, Nigeria's the next fucking thing." And then they had professional players. There's like a guy called Obafemi Martins. I don't know if you'll ever figure out how to spell that. Obafemi Martins was a guy. There's another guy called JJ Okocha.
Oh, my darling.
Type in Obafemi Martins and see how his age is, because he signed for Inter Milan. Here's the thing is he signed for Inter Milan and he was supposed to be like 23. And then there was like 2 years later, he started slowing down and they're all like, what the fuck? So he was lying about his age. He was like a 30-year-old or something.
They do that a lot. The Cubans used to do that in baseball.
They would lie about
it. They would escape Cuba on a raft, get here, and they'd be like, I'm 11. And there's no paperwork.
Yeah,
there's
of
no
course.
one to look back. Meanwhile, you're like, I'm signing this kid.
Yeah, of course.
And then the next thing you know, you're like, oh, he broke down at like 14 years old, but really he was 38 years old.
Yeah, of
You're
course.
like, why did his arm fall off?
So type in age like thing and see if there's information on this guy. So he signed
Age scandal.
I'm sure look, an error saw his birth. The error. See, but they paid for that. So here's what the difference was, and then they had this in the World Cup, right? So they invented a scanner type of thing, like a bone marrow scanner, and you can tell how old someone is, regardless of the birth cert. There's like a thing you can go through,
like count the rings on a tree.
It's exactly that way. Yes, and that's literally it. And then Nigeria had to pull out of the next World Cup because they brought it out. They go, just so you guys know, we don't have a scanner and we'll know how much age you're at. And then they were like, we're not going to do the World Cup next year. So,
what is there an age thing for the World Cup?
For the youth thing.
Oh,
it was
for the
like
youth one.
thing.
Got it.
Yeah. So they pulled out all these players who were clearly 20, and all these professional teams, they use these things to know how old you are. They also scan you as a child now, and they can tell how you're gonna grow. So they go, all right, you're 11 years old. They can scan your bones and go, this guy's likely to be like 6'2", or this guy's gonna be 5'6".
Whenever you go to the doctors, the pediatricians, they say like, oh, you're in the 90th percentile of height or the whatever weight. So they go, based on that and this and your parents, whatever, you're going to be like 6 foot, 6'1" or something. They guess, but I don't think they've ever scanned.
Nah, this is like an MRI style thing. It's like it's elite level sports. Yeah. My dad used to work for Chelsea Football Club.
Damn.
And he used to hate it because he would bring over these really skillful little guys, and then they would like run them through this fucking machine. Like,
I took a tour of the stadium there when I was there.
Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, Chelsea. Yeah,
it
was cool.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
Chelsea stink though.
I don't know anything.
They're like the rich club.
They're like the Yankees.
They might be the Yankees.
Yeah, I think that's why Yes shows their games. The Yes Network shows their games, I think.
It's just that's the richest. That's like the Tribeca of London. It's like Tribeca baseball team, and you're like, no one actually likes this,
Really?
The real people
the real people like
at Queens and Mets. Yeah, and then you got, of course, the faggots up in fucking the Bronx.
Yeah. Fuck you, dude.
Fellas, have we got some new dick pills for you? The previous dick pill people, they're no good. Doesn't work. They give you headaches. Your tongue looks like a stupid color. All right? There's nothing worse than not being able to put the stick shift in drive when you need it the most. That means when you get a big hard dick after 10 Jack and Cokes and you're about to bang a fat chick, but you can't get it up because the folds. Anyway, Rex MD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy so you can get hard. Rex MD, I talk about keeping a Viagra on hand just in case. Oh, that's supposed to be me telling you. I genuinely do have dick pills,
Just
pretty
stuff
much
in your wallet.
just all over, like an alcoholic who hides like a bottle of fucking vodka in the toilet. Yeah, I've got
behind
some
the headboard.
Yeah. It's underneath the pillow like a toot for the. Rex, look, this is just the truth. You get to a certain point, porn has fucking crippled our mental anxiety when it comes to sex. We expect certain things, and you know what? At the end of the day, girls expect certain things too because of the internet. They see the type of piping that, let's be honest, a black guy can give her. So you want to keep her around, you gotta at least be hard for a while. So Rex MD has made the whole process simple. Viagra can cost around $90 a pill. They sell it for as low as $2 a pill. Definitely worth it. And Rex MD has already helped over 300,000 guys gain confidence quickly and confidently, and they're here to help you. Listen, the world has changed, right? People have on Hims to keep their hair. We're hitting to the gym. We're drinking these juices. We're getting shredded. We're on pills. We're all on roids. We're all on performance-enhancing drugs. And that's what this is. What do you reckon Joe Rogan's doing? Do you reckon Joe Rogan's all natural? No. Joe Rogan is the best man on earth, and we all want to be like him. He's dropping fucking pillies, and he's cracking open chickies. Verbatim, act now to take advantage of their best deal yet by heading to rexmd.com/Collie, Collie. That's REXMD.com. Our exclusive deal will save you up to 90%. That's a lot. Where you'll only pay $2 per dosage. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our listeners to get started. That's rexmd.com/Collie, Collie. For up to 90% off. Give the gift of pleasure this year with Rex MD. Do it, boys. No chewing, none of that bullshit, none of those headaches. This is old school, hardcore. What did Pele, the greatest soccer player of all time, have? He had Viagra, dude. Be like Pele. Get on Rex MD.
You don't like tradition, man.
No, I love, yeah.
You want to be, I
love the glory hunters. That's what they would call
I love glory holes.
Yeah, so Giants, what you said? Your Giants?
Giants, Knicks, Rangers, Yankees. That's how it breaks for me.
Rangers.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. So you got something there going for you. Like success, I mean, of late.
It's been real bad, basically.
Really? Didn't you get into the
Well, the Yankees made the playoffs, Giants made the playoffs, Rangers made the Stanley Cup last year.
Stanley Cup, yeah.
But the Knicks are terrible. I mean, we need a champion, like championships. Like I'm sick of these cities like winning, like Boston wins like 2 sports in 1 year championships.
Yeah.
Fucking Tampa's got 3.
Yeah.
Tampa.
They got the lighting.
Tampa, which, by the way, Side Splitters, great comedy club, but not the best city in the world.
No.
So
Florida is not the best state
Florida
in the South. So
Florida's not the best state
in the world.
Yeah.
Florida's not the best state in Florida.
No.
It's fun though. It's a fun place.
It is.
It's where dreams go to die, kind of thing.
And I just have too many connections, like too much family, too many people, too many things I need. It's the second most popular state now.
Yeah, I like going to Florida, and then you find yourself like a dump of a dive bar, and the woman who's working there, she's like used to be hot. She's like probably early 50s. Mm-hmm. Her fake tits are kind of drooping now, but they still have that fake titty shape, but they're lower. She's sort of wrinkled up, a bad tattoo, and you can go, oh, she spent a couple of years in LA.
She's got a couple hard years in a big city.
You can tell she was the hot thing for a while, and now she's like there, and her teeth are a little yellow, and she doesn't know how to make a margarita. I like that. That's like a kind of a fun thing.
I like a fisherman's kind of bar, like sort of couple guys drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. You know,
I love that.
Something. Yeah. I don't want to go to like Boca.
Of course, yeah.
You know, I don't
just feel
like Naples.
I like the dives if it's like that's it culturally inherent of the sort of the community, like a dive bar. I think the difference in Florida is like people are like they come there to accept a sort of a slow death kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. It's like it's not like they're all fishermen, right? Well, maybe they are, but not where I go.
Down, yeah. I mean,
I don't know the real Floridians.
The middle of Florida's like Orlando and Tampa.
God,
like those places are like
Orlando. This is the opposite of your friend. So I was just thinking about the way my friends like. You talked about your friend. He moved to LA for a weekend, stayed there his whole life. Mm-hmm. Beautiful guy, sleep with all these women, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So my friend, he's an Irish guy, Irish comedian Sean Finnerty. Him and his friend bought a fucking van and just like went down the east coast of America, and it broke down in Orlando. So they were like, let's just stay here for a few days. And then he's lived there now. He's just lived there now for like 10, 11 years. Like that's his life. He just,
oh my God.
I know. If he had it just kept driving
what does he find? What is he like? Does he work for Disney?
He just got a job in an Irish bar, and then he started doing comedy, and it's an easy life.
Yeah. You know, people look, I will say that I have a good buddy who's, you know, Ari's staying with this weekend, our mutual friend, a great comic, Steve Simone, bought a house between Tampa and Orlando, loves it. His parents live down there too, so he's close. So it's an easier, I get that. But as far as like the people that you want to perform to, they're not Florida. It's not they're not all, I don't, you know, like that, they're not the people that I always want to perform to.
Yeah, any dates in Florida coming up?
I'm trying to think.
I bet you got.
I know.
I'm in fucking Boca La.
I know. I did.
Key West would be nice to go.
I did at Visani's. I did Naples this year.
Oh, Naples off the hook. Yeah,
off the hook.
Yeah.
I mean, like shows at 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I know it's early shows.
The second show, you're like, what?
Yeah, it's funny that the early shows are so early.
What do we do now? Like, it's it's tough.
Yeah, because I'm a fucking. Obviously, I'm 32. I'm in New York. I'm out most nights of the week. You get the world is your oyster out here. It's a dump. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna see someone get stabbed. That happens. But I'm willing to sacrifice that for a 4 o'clock bar time. You know? So because like I was opening for Ari in Pittsburgh not long ago, and we finished the shows, and it was like by the time the late shows ran out and all that stuff, it was like 1 a.m. It's like, where can we go? It's like there's nowhere to go. They're all gonna close.
I know.
It's like what are we doing here?
Yeah,
this is America. Yeah. There should be 24-hour fucking bars everywhere.
Pittsburgh should be a 4 a.m. city for sure.
It's crazy to not have a 4 a.m.
I think a lot of people just know where to go. There's a lot of underground stuff.
Is it?
I got
That's
the most.
What it is?
Yeah, I was in Pittsburgh once. I went to an underground after, and it was the guy told me he did this card trick. That was the most racist card trick ever. Like he it was horrible, dude. It was like a card trick where like at the end, one of the cards, like he had burned an image onto it, and it was like a black guy hanging in a tree. And he showed it to me. He's like, huh? And I was like, and it was the magic was that it was an actual image on the thing. But the reaction, I was like, oh, like, you know, like, I'm like, the trick worked, but I'm like, you chose to pick that. That was your...
Could have been
anything you could have put. It could have been anything, dude. I went back and worked this trick in my mind. Because after during COVID, I did those master classes. I did magic. I did.
Oh, you did?
And I went back and worked this guy's trick. I go, this guy could have, because that's the thing. I'm like, magic. It's like, it's almost like, it's like a motion offense in basketball. It's like, it's not just one play. It's like you can run a lot of different things. One trick, you can do 3 or 4 different tricks off that one trick.
Yeah.
This guy could have done anything off of this one trick, and it was a black guy hanging in a tree. And I was like, my God, this is Pittsburgh, dude. And he was showing his friends. He's like, ah, and you gotta be like, whoa. Yeah,
I gotta tell you, I disagreeing with all the sentiment of the trick, but it is like, look, he could have just shown you like he could have just shown you Anton, and you would never have remembered the thing. So it's like a trick that it stayed with you.
It did. It was.
You gotta give him credit for like, oh, he'll remember this one.
I mean, yeah, it's like him and David Blaine are the only 2 magicians I know. So
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know.
I bet you he's updated it though now. It's just fucking Derek Chauvin kneeling and fucking.
Yeah. Wait, guys, I got a new trick. It's like, dude, it's not the Memphis kid that got killed by those cops, is it? Is that going to be the guy?
Yeah. Oh. No.
Hold on. Smudging it. Give me a minute. I got to go to the bathroom.
Racist fucking card tricks, dude. I'll plug all your stuff up top, but do you want to tell the folks?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be. I don't think this is the week. I'll be in Phoenix at the Copper Blues. This is the Super Bowl weekend. I'm doing shows Friday and Saturday night. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Then the big ones, La Jolla Comedy Store in the middle of February, and Denver Comedy Works downtown first week in March. There's other ones in there, but those are the big ones. SteveRannazzisi.com for tickets. All of them up there.
Oh, amazing. That's great.
And I got a podcast, What's the Odds with Steve Rannazzisi.
What's the odds of Steve Rannazzisi?
Yeah. Sports, gambling.
Great. Good
that
stuff.
Kind of stuff, yeah.
Nice little bit of advertising coming in for that?
Nothing.
No?
No,
I thought sports gambling is like the best one.
Yeah, you would think. I'm not, I don't know. I don't have a very big following when it comes to the podcast stuff. I don't really.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't have guests, so I just kind of
get ready for the Colum Tyrrell bump, my friend. You know?
Whoa!
Whoa! Do you feel that?
Whoa, man!
It's actually just Fonzie with a key again.
It's like, shit. Bumps for birds, dude. Bumps for birds, man.
Every time I say bump, Fonzie goes.
Yeah. Oh.
Who do we like for the Super Bowl? What's your pick for the Super Bowl? You got any lines, any spreads you like?
Oh, nice, good question.
That's an interesting question from a fucking Eagles fan. I would love for the game not to be played. I don't want to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to.
Yeah.
I just think today, we're still early. We're out. I want to hear, Mahomes is getting, healthier, but I don't know. I just don't think the Eagles can be stopped defensively, and I think offensively they can move the ball pretty well. So, unfortunately, I think it's the Eagles' year. But
nah, Chiefs all day, Eagles gay. That's what I say.
Chiefs all day, Eagles gay, and the -2 for a parlay. That's it.
Yes, there we
Chiefs
go.
are gay.
Wow.
Yep. There's a lot of fun ones though. The Super Bowl though, over under for national anthem. Chris Stapleton's doing it this year.
Okay.
And I don't know what they put the over under at yet. Usually those come in next week.
Yeah, I love going nuts on these games. So just coin toss, just like more money than I can afford on the coin toss, and then you lose $400 straight away, and you're like just a whole time eating wings, going fuck.
I'm like completely. This is bad parenting, but like my kids love to gamble too, and like we'll sit there and I'm like, guys, we have $100 to bet. We at the Super Bowl we literally do drive by drive. He's my youngest like, no, the Bengals are gonna score on this drive. I'm like, field goal or touchdown? It's like field goal. I'm like, boom, put it in, $5. Pick. He's like, fuck. I'm like, yep, welcome, dude.
I know it's fun. It's fun.
It makes it so much fun. And when kids get involved like that, they're like, yeah, like I got them hooked on gambling.
Of course. Whatever, you got to give them something to work.
Dude.
Figure it out yourself, will you?
Around the house we do push-ups. That's the punishment. But
okay,
yeah, you want to bet on something?
Jacked. Yeah.
But
okay, that is fair.
But when it's Super Bowl, you got to pay the bills.
I heard that during the Super Bowl, I don't know if I'm making this up. Isn't it like the busiest time for prostitutes?
Oh, that week, yeah. That week is
and that
very
was,
big.
It's just a coincidence you got booked there, huh? This was a coincidence that your calendar ended up.
I've been to Super Bowls before, so
okay.
I've done my share of fucking prostitutes. No, I'm kidding. But it's built. It's literally built for that. It's a corporate. It's a corporate.
Very
event.
few real fans.
There are no real fans. There are very few. How many real fans can wait till you're 2 weeks before? Like, I'll just tell you something right now. Okay, I got booked for this 2 weeks ago. Do you know how? Because those Copper Blues they wait to see if the NFL is going to purchase their venue for whatever event they're having.
Okay.
Oh, because they've gotten that happen before. Then it's like, they're not doing it. Well, now let's book someone.
Yeah.
So my flight was like $1,500. My hotel, I'm staying in an Airbnb. It's like $1,800 for 3 days. I'm not even getting a hotel.
You're splitting it with some fucking
I'm splitting with Court McCowan, who's opening for me. So it's like we're like that, and that's the cheapest option there is. So it's like if you were a fucking a Philly fucking grunt who's like, this is it, we finally got in. I didn't mean to look at you like that.
Now we all looked around. Yeah.
But it's like you gotta fucking how are you going to the unless you're robbing someone. And then
selling.
I guess to the point, if you're robbing, you're gonna get extra money for a hooker. So
yeah.
You will, but they're there. They're there. So all it is like the Toyota dealerships, the top 3 fucking dealers from the East Coast. They go, and that's what it is. So they can't get into parties. So in lieu of that, come to my show as a Copper Blues.
That's great.
You fat fucks.
That might be the best week of your life, just going to the Super Bowl.
It's awesome, dude. I've done
on the
3.
Corporate dime, Coke and whores,
dude.
and just like never
FX
even watching the game. You don't even know who won.
FX took us 4 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
3 days, first class, hotel, and then even on top of it, fucking the police escort to and from the game. Me and Rupert Murdoch on his bus.
What?
Yeah.
You were with Rupert?
Yeah, you got, and like
The most influential man in the world?
dude, he's on the back of the bus.
He couldn't have got you to squash the whole fucking the license.
Rupert.
Yo.
Yeah, give me a Rupee. How do you kill Google?
Steven. Steven Rannazzisi.
You got yourself into a little bit of sauce.
Steven, I'm doing my best here.
Yeah, he was like, he owns Fox, so he's like, he gets a police escort in and out.
Hell yeah.
So we were all on his bus.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But yeah, it's that's the way to go. Because then you go to the parties and stuff. This is shameless, but like we were at the coolest thing ever. We were at a party and I'm talking to Kroll. Like this is like year 2 of the league, 3. So like we really don't even know, like this is cool for us. Like that we are here and that, so we're talking, these 2 kids come over and they're like, whoa, you guys are from the league? And we're like, yeah, right. And you're talking like, oh, and this one kid goes, I think I went to school with you or one of your families and Nick, and this and that. And Nick's like, and all of a sudden this guy comes over and he starts like hanging around. But I'm like, I know this guy. It's Paul McCartney.
Oh, wow.
And he
was just awkward with his drink, was he?
Yes.
Like
those
an
are
open
his
mic?
kids, his stepson or whatever. And they're fanboying over us. And we're fucking like, holy shit. And he's watching Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z, like, who are like performing at the party. And like, oh, this is the this is the coolest shit ever that you could be like, never in my life was I like, oh, I'm going to be at a Super Bowl party watching Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z while Paul McCartney's kid's fanboy.
That's
like,
crazy.
that's crazy.
I was thinking about Paul McCartney. I reckon if I was to guess, if I was a betting man, I think more people have heard his voice while having sex than any other voice in history. You know, people put on music and the Beatles are probably the most popular band of all time.
Probably.
So, and you know, obviously not modern day. I'm saying this number is going down every year. People aren't put on the Yellow Submarine
whenever they
and
play
they're
those
clapping
massage
cheeks.
parlors, those spas, that might be the number one.
Oh yeah, ding 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 ding.
And then just tears.
And then just sign up for Spotify Premium.
Yeah.
So
That's probably a close second.
You're right. Yeah. All right. So before we get out of here, we always put questions from the fans. If you want to get your question answered, head off to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. And also, while you're over there, it really helps support the podcast, and you get an extra episode every week. All right, folks. So here's some questions. There's a lot here. Do you want to just pick like the best ones? Did you go through these, Fonzie?
Yeah. So from Jackson, we have: how much money would it take for you to wear a MAGA hat every day around NYC for a week straight?
Oh, probably not a lot. Just do it.
Do I have to pay, or how much do I get? Oh, I get money. Oh,
I'd be fine.
Yeah, I would.
The problem is, he's obviously not from New York, like.
Yeah, you'd be perfectly fine. I mean, this is close.
You're practically there.
Yeah.
This is his way.
It's a red golf hat.
Sure,
so
yeah.
It's like one step away from a MAGA hat.
A lot of people turn.
This says Trump links in the middle of it, so it's like.
I know a friend. He's living in Bushwick, super liberal Brooklyn, and his girlfriend was out jogging one night, and she had like a red hat on like that, and looked like a MAGA hat. And like there's like a car slows down, and they were like, "You're not fucking welcome here with that fucking hat!" And they started like shouting at it and drove on.
Really?
And then that's when it was like, "Oh, you're so progressive that you now harassing a woman on her own while she's on the street.
Wow.
You pull over with your gang of friends and go, fucking bigot, bitch, get out of here."
What a bunch of fucking really good guys.
Also, it's
making the world a better place, scaring one white woman at a time.
Yeah, it's died down completely. Like a few years ago, it might have been. Even when I saw MAGA hats a few years ago, you go, "Oh, cool!" Like you would go, I'd kind of be like, I support it, kind of like.
I live on Long Island,
dude.
I run into MAGA hats left and right.
Yeah,
dude.
they've got Trump 2020 flags.
They got the Trump flags that come off the back of their pickup trucks.
I know, it's nice.
And then the other one's the American flag with the black and red. I think that's for the cops.
Yeah, Blue Lives Matter.
The Blue Lives Matter one that comes off the back. Yeah,
for
so
sure.
they don't give a shit.
Okay, I've heard like especially in places like say down in Tampa where they all deck their boats out with stuff.
Oh, my
it's actually.
God.
It's like fashionable to have Trump and MAGA stuff. That's what I was told. It's like a brand.
Yeah. It's like a look.
It's like Supreme.
It's like Hilfiger
for hillbillies.
Yeah, it's like Hilfiger for fucking yuppies, white yuppies.
All right, so that's it. I don't think it would to wear. Pretty much, you're
know.
asking me to wear any hat for a week is kind of like I don't know.
I wear a lot of hats, so give me like pay for my Subway.
Give me $1,000 maybe. I'm not just
$1,000.
Yeah,
I was going for $2, but $2. You want $1,000?
And then from Brian Flores, what's the biggest wager you've put on a bet that wasn't money? For example, gun in the butt.
So do you know gun in the butt situation? Gun
in the butt.
So gun in the butt was a bet that Louis J. Gomez and Big J. Oakerson made.
Okay.
And Big J was adamant, if that's the word, that he would beat Louis in a game of basketball. And he was so confident that he goes, here's what I'll do is you only have to score 1 point and I'll have to score 21 points in our game. And he's like, I'm positive you will not score a single point. And Lewis was like, let's do the bet. And then they decided to make it, the loser had to get a gun in the butt. So they took out a gun. I'm not sure if it was a real gun, toy gun. I also don't know how many inches went in, but it was in there. And then they go out, they play, first shot, Lewis scores. It's like immediately Lewis scores and wins the game. Jay? Like first shot, Lewis goes, and just like fucking Kareem, and he gets it. It was like a fluke, dude. Lewis is bouncing the ball with 2 hands, and he kind of just airballs it, number net, and the Jay just has to fucking eat it.
Oh God, dude.
And so Jay got the gun in the butt. They did it live on the show one time, and they bent him over a table and they shoved it up the ass.
Well, it's funny you say
legendary.
that because on the Punch Drunk Sports podcast, which is like. There was a podcast on the West Coast. Sam Tripoli, Ari Shaffir, and Jason Tebow did like a sports, but it was like a Legion of Skanks. They did a lot of filthy shit.
Yeah,
they had a
Stanhope pissed on Ari.
Yeah,
once,
bag
right?
of bets where they had a thing where they would, fuck you, I'm gonna do that, and then they would pull out of the bag of bets. Well, Ari he lost, and I lost. I can't remember what the bet was, but we had to bleach Ari's asshole. So on camera, so we literally got there, and I had to hold his cheeks open while the ladies did the bleaching, and the smell and the sight, dude. I barfed everywhere live and that was the worst by far that I've ever.
Bleached that like placenta hanging out his fucking.
You had to get the flap. You had to hold the flap back and then get into the asshole.
Oh my Lord, have mercy!
And this bet was like lingering for a while because Ari, he was supposed to get it done, and then he had to have anal surgery to get that cleaned out, and we had to wait a while for the surgery to take and be okay before he can get the bleach done. I think too. Yeah.
Ari's a fucking gross guy.
Oh, it was terrible. That's probably So a lot of butt stuff.
So that was what do you think? So
that one last year, the loser of our fantasy football league had to make a 30-second porn put a video on Pornhub.
Can we just go back real quick for 1 second? So Ari lost the bet, so he had to get his ass.
Yeah, but I was in the bet somehow or another too.
So somehow you had to. It sounds like you lost the bet.
Yeah,
Ari was just sitting there enjoying life.
No, he was not because he didn't like the bleach at all. Like I don't think he was part. Yeah.
He doesn't like anything that cleans you.
Yeah, it was tough.
All right, sorry. What was that one? I interrupted you.
We had to make a 30-second porn. You had to upload a 30-second video to Pornhub, and you couldn't take it down until it got 100 likes.
And what was the video? Just you like hanging out?
Yeah. Well, I didn't do it, but it was like whoever. Yeah, it had to be like some sort of sexual. I think to get cleared on Pornhub, you had to do something sexual.
Did it? Because a lot of people post shit on Pornhub that's not.
Really?
That became like a whole thing of like people are trying to
talking?
Like podcast type of things and stuff.
Oh, really?
Because people, whatever. Those numbers on Pornhub are insane. Do you ever see the numbers on Pornhub?
No. The actual.
Right.
Oh, you're talking about regular videos. I think you meant like podcast numbers. I'm like, what?
I think they do all right, but the regular videos, you'll see some random girl gets like fucking 48 billion views, and you're like,
I've seen millions. I've never seen billions, but holy shit.
I was over exaggerating.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Effect. But whatever. Don't worry about it.
So you're saying it's a good place. It's a good platform.
It's just that the numbers they do compared to regular people is crazy. And like, Lisa Ann hangs around the comedy community here. So like, she's like sitting beside us. She's like arguably one of the most famous people of all time.
Yeah.
But they don't get mobbed. They're not a mobby person. There's not a bunch of people going up and getting photos with. She probably does, but not compared to like fucking Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
I would imagine more guys know Lisa Ann than Angelina Jolie, but we have to pretend like we don't.
We don't.
Yeah. So it's just
be
an
coy.
interest.
But
you gotta be coy.
You gotta be more excited to see Lisa Ann than Angelina Jolie, I think. I mean, she's probably brought way more joy to you than Angelina Jolie.
I've cracked them all open to Lisa Ann more than Angelina Jolie.
Me too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's all right.
They're both fine.
The original big lips.
That's
Angelina
true.
Jolie.
And to answer your categories, MILF. So
Yeah, okay, great. Circle back.
yeah.
Maybe we should enter the bet game. We should have a thing where we have a bag of bets again. Every great idea is stolen from Sam Tripoli, and we have a bag of bets, and we'll do something like that.
Yeah, you just like people. You have, it's great for your community, your fans.
Yeah,
because they're like, oh, do this or do that. Or that. They
bets.
suggest stuff, and then
then
you just put them all together, and then next thing you know, you get into an argument about something. It's like, no, I know.
Yes.
Boom. Well, we'll see how much you know. Do you want to get your fucking asshole bleached, or whatever it is,
Yeah, but we could even have like regular stuff, where like Dave has to get a job or whatever. Dave has to do a day's work.
You got to go a week without bumps.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's an interception. You lost the bet. Every piece of paper in there says don't do drugs for a week. Fonzie said.
Wait a minute. This seems rigged.
All right, look, what fucking everyone go see Stephen Rannazzisi.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Live. Check out the podcast, the betting podcast. And thanks so much for a great conversation.
Dude, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This is nice.
Thanks.